15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun.
Hi, welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Ruth Obozege, and here are top stories for the day. Buhari won't impose successor, presidency replies Buhari. NDDC budget reports ready after January 28, says National Assembly. From the international scene, Soleimani, Iranians flock to hometown for commander's burial. And then on business, CBN releases framework to address payment system risks. And on sport, CAF Player of the Year award, who wears the crown? The details of the news will come shortly after this timeout. Please join us again. On local scene, Buhari won't impose successor, presidency replies Buhari. The presidency said on Monday that the question of the successor to the president Muhammadu Buhari in 2023 was best answered by Nigerians who would freely make the decision through the ballot. He stated that Buhari would not impose his successor on the country, but would rather allow a democratic process to be followed through in electing the next president. His special advisor on media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, who spoke on a live interview on Monday, was responding to the call made by the serving overseer of Citadel Global Community Church, formerly known as Latter Rain Assembly, Pastor Tunde Bakari, urging Buhari to set in a succession plan ahead of 2023. Bakari had in a State of the Nation address on Sunday, urged Buhari not to allow those he described as looters to take over the reins of power in 2023, adding that by doing so, he would mean that the anti-corruption war of the current regime would have been in vain. Bakari, a former running mate to Buhari when he contested the presidential poll in 2011 on the platform of the Congress for Progressive Change, said there were other leaders across Asia and Africa who had a succession plan. But the presidency noted that as much as Buhari would love to sustain his legacies after exiting office in 2023, he would not interfere with the democratic process by insisting on a particular individual to succeed him. Away from that news, NDDC budget reports ready after January 28, says National Assembly. The Senate Committee on Niger Delta Affairs and the House of Representatives Committee on the Niger Delta Development Commission have expressed their preparedness to submit the report of the 2019 budget of the agency as soon as the National Assembly resumes plenary on January 28. Investigations by our correspondent at both chambers of the Federal Parliament revealed that the interim management committee of the NDDC and the directors of the commission have defended the budget separately before the two panels. Findings revealed that based on the position of the Senate not to recognize the interim management team, the Niger Delta Committee of the Red Chamber engaged the directors of the agency during the budget defense sessions. However, findings also revealed that the NDDC committee in the House of Representatives embarked on a robust engagement with the interim management committee of the agency during the budget defense. Moving on, the Chairman House of Representatives Committee on the NDDC, Olubumi Tunji Ojo, confirmed to our correspondent on Monday that his committee would submit its report on the agency's 2019 budget as soon as the National Assembly resumes plenary at the end of the month. Tunji Ojo said his committee would start work on the 2020 budget of the Commission as soon as that of the 2019 had been considered and passed by the House House of Representatives at plenary. In another news, Labour to review states' compliance with minimum wage. Organised Labour said on Monday it would take a decision on a date it would meet to review the minimum wage negotiation between states and workers across Nigeria. It was reported that no fewer than 15 states had yet to conclude negotiations on the new minimum wage of 30,000 naira. 2 days after the deadline of December 31st, 2019, which Labour gave governors to sign agreements with their workers. Investigations had also showed that Ekiti, Cross River, Benue, Gombe, Osun, Sokoto, Uyo, Niger, Ogun, Enugu, Bayelsa, Rivers, Kwara, Taraba and Anambra states had not agreed on consequential adjustment of salaries. It was also gathered that while Lagos, Kaduna, Bauchi, Katsina and Borno states had agreed to pay the new minimum wage, other states started negotiations few days to the end of the deadline. The new wage structure was signed into law by the President, Muhammadu Buhari, on April 18, 2019, while both the federal government and the Organised Labour agreed on consequential adjustment on October 18, 2019 after a lengthy negotiation. Away from that story, the federal government on Monday said it had taken measures to combat any situation that might arise from Turkey's deployment of troops in Libya. The Ministry of Defense spokesman, Mr. Charles Uwodu, disclosed this in an interview with our correspondent in Abuja, just as the defense headquarters said it would deploy soldiers to address Chadian troop withdrawal from Lake Chad. Defense Ministry spokesman Uwodu was asked how government planned to curtail the influx of terrorists from Libya when Turkish troops finally arrived in the North African country. He said, "We are proactive in every measure had been taken to combat that situation." News from the international scene will be when we return from the break, but stay with us. One of the stories we have to share with you is on the killed commander Qasem Soleimani. Let's see the details after the timeout. Please join us again.
The first to contact.
What a good news we have to share. This is our first invasion of the year.
Yes, the very first.
Do you live in Las Vegas? Do you live in Los Angeles? Join me as I come to California. I will be ministering God's word in Oakland. Nobody gets victory when peace is out of place.
Date 7 and 8 January 2020. Live at San Francisco Bay Area, Hilton Hotels and Resorts, 1 Hengebanga Road, Oakland, CA 94621. Time 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. GMT-8. For inquiries, please call +1 707 333 7575.
Be my guest for a mighty Greater Works Crusade in California. I'll see you in Oakland.
And welcome to International Scene on News Desk. Huge members of black-clad mourners have turned out to pay their final respects to Iranian military commander Qasem Soleimani ahead of his burial. Soleimani was assassinated in a U.S. drone strike in Iraq on Friday on the orders of President Donald Trump. His body has now arrived in his hometown of Kaman in southeastern Iran, where he is being buried on Tuesday morning. Large crowds already turned out for a funeral procession in Tehran. Iran has vowed severe revenge for the death of Soleimani and on Sunday pulled back from the 2015 nuclear accord. In another news, Australia fires almost 2,000 homes destroyed in marathon crisis. Almost 2,000 houses have been confirmed destroyed in Australia's months-long bushfire crisis as crews prepare frantically for more forecast danger. After ferocious conditions last week, firefighters are using milder weather to boost containment lines around fires engulfing southeastern Australia. Temperatures are likely to soar again on Friday, prompting fears that two fires could form a new mega blaze. At least 25 people and millions of animals have died since September 2019. Australia is fighting an unprecedented bushfire season, fueled by record temperatures and widespread drought. On Tuesday, New South Wales officials and fires there had claimed 1,588 homes and damaged 653 more. About 200 homes have been destroyed in neighboring Victoria, adding to more than 100 lost in other states. In the Insurance Council of Australia estimated the damage bill had reached $700 million, but said it expected the cost to rise significantly. On business, CBN releases framework to address payment system risk. Please join us again. The details of the news will be after this time out.
Greater Works 2020 comes to Germany. Join me from everywhere, any part of Europe, Belgium, you live in Holland, anywhere in Paris. Make your way down to Germany as we converge in Munich. For 2 days of mind-blowing manifestation, there will be the release of the prophetic. The blind will see, the lame will walk, the deaf will hear, the dumb will speak.
On the 14th and 15th January 2020 by 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. GMT+1 at Backstage Concert Arena, Ricknish Strasse 680639, Munich, Germany.
And above all, the sinners will be saved. Tell someone to tell someone that Johnson Suleiman is coming to me. God bless you.
And welcome to Business Scene on News Desk. The Central Bank of Nigeria on Monday released the Nigerian Payment System Risk and Information Security Management Framework to guide the management of risk associated with the payment system in Nigeria. The framework, which had already been approved by the Apex Bank, became imperative to identify and address sources of systematic risk within the Nigerian payment system landscape. Some of the risks that the framework is expected to address are systematic risk, credit risk, liquidity risk, operational risk, compliance, legal and regulatory risk, settlement risk, and information security risk. The framework is also meant to establish sound governance arrangement to oversee the risk management framework by ensuring that risks are identified, monitored, and treated, and establish clear and appropriate rules and procedures to carry out the risk management objectives. Other objectives of the framework are to employ the resources necessary to achieve the payment system and to integrate risk management into the decision-making processes. In another business news, stock market gains 241 billion naira in 3 days. The nation's stock market gained 241 billion naira in the first 3 trading days of the year. The market, which recorded gains in 6 consecutive days, maintained its gaining streak into the new year as the market capitalization of equities climbed above the 13 trillion naira mark on Friday. The market opened the week positive as buying interest in Dangote Cement PLC, Guarantee Trust Bank PLC, and Zenith Bank PLC pulled the all-share index up by 138 basis points to 339.68 barrel per sale. Consecutively, market capitalization rose by 179.1 billion naira from 13.020 trillion naira on Monday to 13.199 trillion naira on Tuesday. Activity level was mixed as volume traded fell by 14.5% to 520.434 million units, while value traded increased by 42.3% to 5.351 billion naira. Performance across sectors was bullish as only the Afro-ICT index depreciated as a result of the share price decline of MTN Nigeria Communications PLC. On Sport, CAF Player of the Year Award, who wears the crown? Please stay with us. We'll be coming with the details of the news.
Be the first to contact.
What a good news we have to share. This is our first invasion of the year.
Yes, the very first.
Do you live in Las Vegas? Do you live in Los Angeles? Join me as I come to California. I will be ministering God's word in Oakland. Nobody gets victory when peace is out of place.
Date 7 and 8 January 2020. Live at San Francisco Bay Area, Hilton Hotels and Resorts, 1 Hengebanga Road, Oakland, CA 94621. Time 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. GMT-8. For inquiries, please call +1 707 333 7575.
Be my guest for a mighty Greater Works Crusade in California. I'll see you in Oakland.
And welcome to Sports Scene on News Desk. It's been 20 years since a Nigerian player won the CAF Player of the Year award, and the wait will continue when the 2019 CAF award ceremony holds at the Alberto Citadel Heshesh, Hurghada, Egypt on Tuesday tonight. Wako Kano was the last Nigerian recipient of the award in 1999, beating Ghanaian defender Samuel Kofu and Ivorian striker Ibrahima Bakayoko to win the award. Ever since, only two Super Eagles players, Austin Okocha and Mikel Obi, have made the final shortlist in over 2 decades. Mikel, on his part, was runners-up when Ivory Coast Yahya Toure won the award in 2003. Only 4 Nigeria players have won the CAF African Player of the Year award. Rashidi Yakini in 1993, Emmanuel Amunike in 1994, Kanu in 1996, 1999, and Victor Ikpeba in 1997. Tuesday's awards will not be about Nigeria's men's players' absence from the final 3 of the CAF Player of the Year award, but Asisat Oshoala's quest to equal her mentor and compatriot Perpetual Okocha, who won the award a record 4 times: 2004, 2015, 2010, and 2011. In another sport news, Usman vows to turn McGregor's dream to nightmare. Nigeria Ultimate Fighting Championship welterweight champion Kamaru Usman has won former champion Conor McGregor against fight for his belt. McGregor is built to make his awaited return to action on January 18 at UFC 246 when he squares off with Donald Cerrone in a 107-pound main event, and he's already setting his goals high for 2020 by eyeing Usman's belt. Despite his forthcoming fight, the Irishman has decided to book a fight with the Nigerian, who has won his last 15 fights. Usman, however, replied, "McGregor, my man McGregor, please just go in there and take your loss from Cowboy. Don't even dream of this welterweight strap, because that dream can turn into a nightmare fast." Usman successfully defended his title against Colby Covington on December 14, 2019 in Las Vegas. Lastly, on sport, Saka is 8th most valuable teenager in EPL. Ghana starlet Bukayo Saka has been rated the 8th most valuable teenager in the English Premier League according to Give Me Sports. Saka is valued at £11.7 million. The 18-year-old has been a revelation at the Emirates ever since making his senior debut in 2018 against Vauxhall Port Tavern in the Europa League. The England Youth International is highly rated at the Emirates and has further proven his importance under new manager Mikel Arteta. Now, that's the size of the news today on News Desk, but here are top stories again. Buhari would impose successor presidency, replies Buhari. NDDC budget reports ready after January 28, says National Assembly. From the international scene, Soleimani, Iranians flock to hometown for commander's burial. On business, CBN releases framework to address payment system risk. And finally, on sport, CAF Player of the Year award, who wears the crown. Please be our friend on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we're Celebration TV. On Instagram, My Celebration TV. On Twitter, at My Celebration TV. On YouTube, Celebration TV. I am Ruth Oboz again. Many thanks for joining us on News Desk today. Do have a lovely Tuesday ahead, and bye for now.
To 15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun.